Okay. Okay. Shh. Thank you. Alright, so first we're going to start off with box plots. So box plots are another way for us to display data distribution using 5 key numbers. Okay. The difference between the first and third quartile is called the interquartile range. So we talked about this the other day when we were talking about not dot plots, but one of our other graphings the other day. What? Yeah. So interquartile range, that's when we take our third quartile minus our first quartile, and that gives us the IQR, or interquartile range. So this is what a box plot looks like. Sometimes you'll hear it or you'll see it called a box and whisker plot, because they obviously call the box, and then the little lines that come out of it they call the whiskers. If you think about like a cat or a dog, like their whiskers come out of the side. So the smallest piece of data, so this right here, this would be called the minimum. So this is the minimum. Okay, the largest, I'm going to skip down here, the largest piece of data then is called the maximum. So that's down here. Okay. Then, if you see this line right here inside of the box at 15, this is the median, or the midpoint of the data. So this right here, 15, that's the median. And then we have the median, so this one right here, of the lower half of data. This is called the first quartile, or Q1. That's usually what you'll see it as. Yes?
How do you spell the word, the least interquartile?
Oh.
M-I.
M-I-N-I-M-U-M. Minimum. And then the median of the upper half, so this line right here, this is called quartile 3, the median of quartile 3. So hopefully you can see that pretty well. So quartile 3. Okay. So these are all of the major parts of the box and whisker, or box plot. So usually what happens is you're given a set of tasks to find those 5 points and then graph them on the number line, like as a box plot. So, question 1. The following data set represents the number of animal crackers in a snack size box. So the thing I always suggest with box plots is to go ahead and take your data and put it in order from least to greatest. Because you're going to have to find the median, then you're going to have to find the median of both sides, the quartiles. And so if we look at this, 34 is our smallest data point. Then 45, 47. We've got 2 48s, a 49, and a 50. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bless you. All right. So we've got our data in order from least to greatest. There we go. So the first thing that we can do is find our minimum and maximum. So 34 is of course going to be our minimum because that's the smallest data point. And then our maximum is what? 50. Okay. And then we're going to go for the median. So we cross off one on this side, one on this side. Left, right, right. So 48 is our median. Now remember, when we're looking at the different quartiles, we're looking at that median number in the first quartile and the second quartile, or the third. So we kind of bracket off the first one. It's going to be 45. So then what is quartile 3 going to be? 49, good. So 45 is quartile 1, and 49 is quartile 3. Yeah, so this is like the one that we did the other day for, I can't remember now, but. Yeah, we looked at interquartile range the other day when we did range, interquartile range, and variability just by looking at a set of data points. So that's why we do that first before box plots. So now we need to create the box and whisker plot. So the first thing we're going to do is I like to focus on these 3 data points right here, because that's what creates the box. So I'm going to draw a line at 45. I'm going to draw a line at 48, so 6, 7, 8, and 49. Okay? Then, watch, I'm going to create a box. So that's those 3 data points. Then I'm going to draw a line out here to 34, so about right here. And then draw a line to 50, and that's it. So a lot of this data is over here on the right side of our number line. Okay, let's look at another one. Alright, so question 2. The following data represents the number of hours a small candle will burn. Okay, so because there's not a whole lot of space here, I'm going to actually do a vertical line essentially. So my first number would be 7. Then 8. I've got 1, 2 9s, 1 10, 2 11s, 1 12, 1 14. Oh, and a 19, thank you. Okay. All right, so now we can go ahead and figure out our min, which is what? What's our minimum?
7.
And our maximum is
19.
19. Okay. Now we're going to look for our median. So we cross one off on each end. So top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. 11. Now, that's the middle number. Now here's the other thing. When we're looking at quartile 1 right here, you'll notice that the middle is right here because we have an even number. So 7 and 11 crossed out, 8 and 10 crossed out. You have 9 and 9. Well, the easy thing about when you have the same number and you're trying to find the median of those, it's just going to be that number. Because 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So quartile 1 is 9. So then quartile 3 will be 15 because it's right in the middle of those two. Huh? Quartile 1. So if I cross out a 7, an 11, an 8, and a 10, I'm stuck with these two right here. So we have to find the mean of these. So when you find the average of two numbers that are the same, it's always going to be that number. Because that number plus that number divided by 2 is just that number. So now we graph. So I'm going to start with my quartile 1, which is 9. My median, which is 11. And my quartile 3, which is 15. And create my box.
Wait, where's the box?
So my quartile 1 starts right here at 9. Quartile 3 is over here at 15, and then my median is at 11. Then I draw a little whisker over to 19, and I draw a little whisker over to 7. So the thankful thing about a, on the star, obviously you can't write out and draw out physically a box plot. So they might ask you to match and say which one represents the data given to you. So you'd have to do it on your own piece of paper. But a lot of times the main thing is them asking for this data right here. Okay. So we're going to look at this one. They may give you one and then ask you questions, so kind of backwards. So, using the given box plot to determine the 5-number summary. Okay? So, for example, my minimum is right here at 11. My maximum is over here. Now, there's not a whole lot of tick marks on here. Because we're going from 11 to 14, that means we've got to hit 12 and 13. And then in between 14 and 17, I've got to hit 15 and 16. And then 17, 18, 19, 20. So I like to add in my own tick marks to tell me which one is which. So my minimum is 11. My maximum is down here at 18. My quartile 1 is right here at 12. My median's at 14. And quartile 3 is at 16. So, last question. Use your knowledge to answer the questions below. Christina conducts a poll to determine the number of colleges high school seniors apply to. She creates a box plot to represent the information. So what I suggest is we label this first. Okay, so this is obviously 0 right here, and this would be our minimum. Okay, this first line of my box represents quartile 1, which is at 4. This middle line at 6 represents our median, good. This line at 8 represents quartile 3. And then this one looks like it's at 9, and this would be our what? Our maximum, good. Okay. Okay, for those of you watching the video, I want you to pause and answer these 4 questions on your own, or 5 questions, and then press play and you can watch the answers. I'm pausing, so listen. Okay, we went ahead and marked out question 8. So question 4, not anymore. It says record, oh, I'm sorry, I was like, no it's not. Okay, so determine the range. We take our maximum minus our minimum, and we get 9. Okay, the median, Yummy, is already labeled at 6. So 6 colleges are the median. Interquartile range, we take quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So 8 minus 4, which is 4. And then which quartile represents the greatest spread in data, meaning like which one has the numbers are the furthest apart.
0 to 4.
0 to 4, which would be quartile 1. Because that's a gap of 4
Numbers.
Thank you. Okay. So fold this one up, put it to the side. We'll glue it in a minute, and then watch the next video for the other set of notes.